Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray, feeling good, Lewis's. We're going to take a look at the German DAX and the FTSE. I've already posted those. You can see they're both in bearish structure patterns, and it looks like we could be heading a little bit lower. The next one we want to cover, of course, is the U.S. stock market. Yesterday was what we call a Fibonacci trifecta. If you'll notice, the very first one that we're going to look at here was the NASDAQ. We went up and we took out the high of May 10th, exactly at the 61% retracement. We missed it by about 3 points. That was the only one that missed. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was spot on, and you'll know it was quite weaker. It only made the exact 50% retracement, and of course it did it in ABCD format. So that's why we were looking at that one from the short side, sell the weakest, of course. And then finally the E-mini S&P, which did an absolute perfect 61% retracement up there at 2892. That took out the high of May 10th by 1 point. A lot of power there. There was no buying above that level. That was about 2 hours before the close. And then, of course, the market sold off, and it moved down to that 250 and change level, to the 78% level of the May low. But this is a very bearish chart, folks, because it's a 3-day rally. You had rally Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday after the big move down on Monday, where we went from 28.90 all the way down. Well, we dropped 90 handles. We rallied back 60 handles. Fibonacci in itself, which is really good. Now, I want to share with you something we got from our friend Dennis Gartman. Dennis, of course, has a very famous and expensive newsletter. I think it's $300 a month. But he has talked about in this week's, let's just get this up here so you can look at it. In today's letter, he's talking about possibly this is the most important stock chart of the decade. And when he says in red there, it says commodities are cheap, stocks are expensive. This may be the most important chart of the year, perhaps of the decade. When this ratio finally turns higher, it will do so for years and years, as commodities are shockingly cheap relative to equities. You'll notice that blue line is the commodities. 1970 was when I was in the old grain robbery and the stuff at Drexel. You'll see the 1991, that's when crude oil hit $42 a barrel before it went down to $11 a barrel when the dot-com bubble was going on. And then, of course, we had the housing crisis thing in 2008, and here we are in 2019. Those of you that get the newsletter, you remember that one of the things that I brought to your attention was the fact that when you look at the Commodity Research Bureau weekly chart, you're seeing that 3 drive to a bottom pattern, ABCD type structure. It's actually the low in last year was made in May, and here we are making a new low with the 3 drive to a bottom pattern in May also. Now we already know that the grains have turned. We had a 50-cent rally in wheat. If you take a look at this, you'll see this is what we were just talking about just a few days ago, that it was getting time, and we had that butterfly bottom right down at exact 1.27, 1.618 expansion. That was at 417 just a few days ago. We had a 50-cent rally, and we're above the 78% level right now. We're a little bit overbought, but that don't mean anything because this thing wants to go higher. Look at the retracement, folks, at the 382 level down at 446. We went from 464 down to 446 in a quick sell-off, stopping exactly at the 382 retracement. That's exceedingly bullish. So these markets, corn, wheat, beans, all of these have definitely turned. Now, some of these markets have not turned yet. Sugar is testing the low again, and as is coffee, I believe, so they haven't turned, but when they get ready, they should be ready, and we'll be watching it very, very closely as always. I wanted to mention we've had a question about the Bitcoin because Bitcoin did exactly what wheat did. Let's just take a quick look at it here. Well, do that. You could be selling wheat. That's right. I mean, it's right up at a nice level. If you pick a nice spot, that's what the old cowboy is going to look at. Anyway, you'll notice here in the Bitcoin going back over the past year, we had that big run up to 8,400. That was a 61% retracement from the high way back in March of last year. Look at the pullback, folks. It dropped from 8,400 to 6,400, $2,000 a share, stopping exactly at the 382 retracement and then rallying $1,100 a share. So Bitcoin is rocking and rolling. I don't do anything in that stock. I don't trade it. I just bring it to your attention because there's a lot of people in it. And when a lot of people are in it, these numbers are going to work. That's the bottom line. Boys and girls, we have one stock on, or one commodity on the radar today. Does anybody want to guess what it is? Mr. Z, do you want to take a big guess what it could be? No reason. You got it, Mr. Z. He wins the prize. It is silver. Let's take a look at it, boys and girls. Here we are. Let's get it up. We've been waiting for this for an awfully long time. This one probably won't work, but by golly, this is the kind you wait for. Here we are coming into a full moon tomorrow. Bada bing, bada boom. Look at the swings that are measuring here to 1440. The low has been 1441. And it looks like it's ready to turn up. Whether it is or not, I don't know. But there's another one that looks even better than that. If you take a look at, well, let's just look at the platinum too, because we're right at the level in platinum that we've been waiting to see. If you'll give me 1 second, we'll pull it up here so that you'll see the platinum. Here's the one. This was posted several days ago. And now we're down here at 824.5, I believe, was the low so far today. 823 is the ABCD structure there. That's also a 78% retracement off the low of May 18th. Let's try it again, Larry. March 18th. So this is an ABCD structure, longer term. So pay attention to it. It should be really interesting. The same thing in gold, only gold is acting much more bullish. It really does look bullish in the gold. I was looking for 860, 856 or something, which is $30 away. And if we get to $30 lower in gold, that silver will be below $14 an ounce would be my guess. But all the things are set up. I don't know if you can't ask for anything better than this one in silver. This has they have so many patterns there. Not only that, but you have the Astro Time. And speaking of Astro Time, we have Norman, who calls it to the minute, Winsky, will be on at the half hour to tell us about what he's looking at. And all of you know that the last time Norman had a losing trade was in 1948, and that was scratched because there was a bad fill. Yes, there is a Gartley on the VIX also, Marshall. I see that. I think the VIX is going to go a whole lot higher. Been very bullish volatility for quite some time. And I do believe we're going to see a pretty big move here in this because, folks, the fact that all three of those indices, we'll be right back, 877-927-6648.
The TAS Profile Scanner is the most revolutionary piece of trading software that you will ever try. Wouldn't you like to approach the markets with confidence? As you begin your trading day, it's likely that you'll be faced with lots of decisions. In order to make the best decision, the first thing you'll need is a strategy that will help you minimize your risks. Whether we're in a bull or bear market, a good strategy is to have the tools needed to help you scan and analyze the markets before you trade. The TAS Profile Scanner instantly scans and filters over 2,500 global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, president of TAS Market Profile, the TAS Profile Scanner understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications, automated trading algorithms, and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. Whether you're looking at the trade matrix, the ETF heat grid, the market breadth, the landscape charts, or the many other features of the TAS Profile Scanner, this is a piece of software that will revolutionize how you look at the markets and set up your trades. The team at TAS has even put together a 12-part video series to walk you through every aspect of the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find directly on the TAS order page at TFNN.com. Sign up now for only $97 a month with a risk-free 30-day trial, so you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. See for yourself how you can harness the full power of the TAS Profile Scanner by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services section. Remember, with a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to lose. Don't let another day pass you by without trying out this amazing piece of software that will revolutionize how you look at the market and how you place trades. Sign up today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
All right, we're back, folks, and I believe we have a caller from Philadelphia on the line. Mr. Z, are you there?
I am, Larry. Thanks for taking the call. I'm going to make this brief in advance of your talk with Norm Winsky.
You take your time, pal.
You put up this morning the lovely textbook patterns and fib numbers on the NASDAQ futures, the S&P futures, and very specifically wanted to ask this from a trader's psychology and trade tactics perspective. Earlier in the week, after, say, the S&P futures came off that low of 2,800, the price rallied into some fib numbers where one conceivably could have put on a short with low risk. Mm-hmm. In fact, I was doing just that. Market pulled back and then marched higher. And during that process, of course, we never knew in advance the S&P futures would get up to that 2894 level and hitting a fib number and completing a pattern. So my question for you is, when you've taken a trade earlier as the market is coming up, and either taken a small gain or a break even or a small loss, please describe for us how you handle getting in the right frame of mind to, in fact, have the gumption, the moxie to say, okay, fine, we've gotten up to 2894. I never know it was going to get there, but now that it's there, I got to take the trade. Please share with us what's going on in your mind. It'd be very helpful for me to hear that, and I'd appreciate that.
Okay, John, the first one, I have 3 useful tools that have kept me alive in these markets for many years. The first is the rosary beads that my grandmother gave me many years ago. The second one is this synthetic little stuffed animal cat that I kick around. And third one that never fails is 4 ounces of vodka right before the market opens. Those are the things that usually help me a great deal.
Excellent.
But
good. I'll put
given
that on my
that
shopping list.
there is a fourth thing that I use all the time, and it happens all the time. It is I put a stop in, and I lost. Yesterday, I thought the market was going to stop dead in its tracks at 28.65, and the tracks ended at 28.72 when I got knocked out of it, and then I didn't look at it again until it got up to the 61% retracement late in the day, up around 28.92. We took out the highs of May 10th, John, by 1 point. You know, that's not a sign of strength, and it did it exactly at the 61% retracement. And if you quickly check the Dow Jones, it was making a 50% retracement. That was the one to sell because it was the weakest, and it's the weakest this morning. And then the third one, of course, was the NASDAQ that missed the 61% retracement by about 4 points, I believe. So that was pretty much telling me that I thought that was it. But again, I would have had to have 4 ounces of vodka again, and also another bout of the rosary beads with the 5 mysteries, and then also being able to, kick the little furry stuffed cat. But the stops will keep you in the game, and the mental part of it. You got to get used to. Well, you're used to this. Now we're wrong a lot. I'm wrong a lot more than you are because you're really good at this. But you just gotta take your shots. Like my grandma said, you got to kiss a lot of frogs in that pond before you find the princess. So that's really what you have to look at.
That answer is exactly what I was looking to hear, so I appreciate that. And just the most important thing, the follow-up is those beads. Can I go down to a local store, or do I have to become a member of a Catholic church?
I could listen. I have a direct line to the Vatican, so you just get down there, mention my name, and they'll give you a discount on just about anything. Okay?
Pope Larry, very good, excellent. Thanks so much, sir.
Hey, you bet, John. I appreciate it. By the way, speaking of something like that, my good friend Larry Leslie out here in Arizona, he bought a ranch just south of the city, and he was trying to sell it. And my mother and my grandmother always said, when you want to sell property, you buy a statue of St. Joseph and bury it upside down in the ground right where the real estate is, and it'll sell right away. He tried for a year to sell it. I was in New York, and I picked up a little statue at San Gennaro's there on Willow Street. I can't remember what street it is, that you can see the Statue of Liberty. Anyway, the Empire State Building, and I took it back to him, and we buried it. I had a couple glasses of wine. He sold it 3 days later for the exact price. He always laughed about that, but it's still that actually worked.
I'm going to trust in the prospect that I'm going to get all your secrets, Larry.
Oh, yeah. Well, just all it takes is 4 ounces of vodka. I'm a cheap date.
Thanks very much.
Yeah. If I had 4 ounces of vodka, they'd have to take me home in an ambulance. Okay, let's move on here to a couple other things. Folks, keep an eye on this silver and gold and platinum. They're all in the zone here. If you like pattern recognition, this is the kind of stuff that you like to look at. And those of you that really want to look at something, if you'll take a look at the, if you have to take a look at the mailman's here. For some reason, we're delivering packages. We've got a big birthday coming here on Sunday, so the packages are starting to arrive. If we take a look at, for your homework, boys and girls, take a look at GDX, okay? I'm not going to post it in here because it's too much information. All right, I'll do it. Shut the front door and raise the rent. Let's just pull it up here. It doesn't mean very much, I guess. So hold it. Let me get this up here so we can watch it, and then we will take a quick look at it here. This is really interesting. Please take a look here. May 27th has Astro meeting. Okay, we will do that, Maria, as soon as Norm comes on. May 27th. Norm, I know you're listening, so you got a question about May 27th right off the bat. Here's the GDX gold silver index. Boys and girls, look at this. We're collapsing in gold. We're collapsing in silver. We're collapsing in platinum. And look at the gold silver index. Look at it. It's just making higher bottoms. And that's the XAU, just the opposite of that, is going down. It's making new lows. So somebody's buying GDX. Well, maybe for a short period of time, but that's what it looks like. I mean, it looks very, very interesting. It's a real look at this. You don't see any higher bottoms in this one. This is the actual index itself. There it is. Bada bing, bada boom. It is a 135, Marshall. You get the gold star. Anyway, you don't get any what do you call it? Oh, no, it's not a boat. That's not a boat that we're in, dear. No, it's not a boat. It's a, what do we call it? It's a plane. It's a plane. Well, Marshall knows that I don't drink at all. So, no, I do have a glass of wine occasionally. Anyway, yeah, it could be a lead balloon that could all fall apart. That's for sure. That's why you put a stop in. That's it's what the thing's all about. Hey, we got the wizard coming on next, and we're going to ask him about May 27th. So get ready, Norm. They're going to ask you about May 27th. So we'll have Norm Winsky on at the break here, and have a wonderful weekend. I'll be on at the very end here, but have a wonderful weekend, folks. And got an 8-year-old having a birthday on the 15th, or the Sunday. We'll be right back.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters. The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN, and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, folks, we have Norm Calls It to the Minute Winsky from Astro Trends down in Florida as our guest. Norm, how are you today?
Great, Larry. Thanks for having me on your show.
Okay, we have to start off the show a little differently today because the little princess in the room wants to know what is going on about May 27th. What is
May
big about that?
May 27th will be a great day to take some time off. It's a holiday. It's Memorial Day.
Ah, that's very good. It's a Monday,
And the
so
day,
we're
and
closed.
you know, Larry, coming from Indiana as I am,
Yes.
you know what happens the day before?
The
Ew,
Indianapolis 500. Yeah.
right?
Okay, that's it.
That's my
And
impression of the race cars at the Indy 500. You know, I grew up an
yeah.
hour from the track, and
Norm, when I moved to
that's
Indianapolis in 1969, working for Lilly, we had two little babies, and the track is, not very far from where we lived. It was about 8 miles. We lived
yep.
up near, we lived in the north side of the city, and it was so loud that my ex-wife called the speedway and complained about the noise because the children would not sleep during the trials.
You're kidding.
I swear to God. And many of the Lilly executives were, they're involved in the track, with the officials and stuff. And it was a big joke at the next party we went to. Anyway, go ahead. Let's talk about
I
the
bet
market.
they shut the whole thing down because of your wife, right?
Oh yeah, they canceled the race that year. Yeah, they sure did. You betcha. Go
Anyway,
ahead.
so speaking of birthdays, Larry, today is May 17th. That's the 227th birthday for the New York Stock Exchange. I think you were there under the buttonwood tree.
Yeah,
right?
under the buttonwood tree here at the corner of Broad and Wall. I was there that day. I sure was. Yeah, it was very exciting.
You probably signed the deal, right? To create the New York Stock Exchange, right? And
sometimes
you mentioned May 19th.
Sometimes I feel that, old Norm. So.
And May 19th is in addition to your grandson's, is your grandson, is that right?
Yep, Avery's birthday.
Grandson's birthday. It's also the birthday and incorporation of Merrill Lynch, and also the day that I started on the CBOE full time in 1975.
Shut the front door and raise the rent. That's enough to get the thing moving, I think. So.
Yeah, if it wasn't for me, they never would have got that thing going. Right there you go.
Amen. All right, let's get.
All right, Larry, we're going to go back to the
money.
beginning of my May there, because we can, if we look at some of these events, I mentioned when I was last on your show on May the 3rd. I'm going to go back a few days before that. We might learn something. Now, Saturn, one of my top things is when the planets go direct or retrograde for the new folks. What is that? Due to the rolling motion of the Earth, it appears, that's the operative word, it appears that the planets stop their motion occasionally and then reverse the direction. How does that happen? Well, it's called rolling motion. When you're driving in your car and you're doing 60, if somebody passes you doing 70 and you look out your window, you might get the impression that you're going backwards. And that's what the planets do occasionally. As the Earth passes a planet or a planet passes the Earth, then it appears that it stops its motion and then reverses the direction. That apparently causes some kind of energy shock wave through the solar system there. It comes down to Earthlings here, and then they change their mood often. So did that work? Saturn in Capricorn turned retrograde the night of the 29th. Go look at your charts. I don't follow the NASDAQ that carefully, sort of casually. If you go look at your NASDAQ chart, that was the high of the NASDAQ that day. And we also have Saturn associated with coffee. We'll be looking at these charts here in a minute. The S&P topped about a day or two later. We had Uranus in Taurus, the bull, line up 45 degrees to Neptune and Pisces. That's the big liquids, which would be your oil. So you got cattle, cotton. Also, Uranus is copper, and oil stocks. So we'll be looking at all these charts in just a minute. And then we had Jupiter in Sagittarius line up with Saturn and Capricorn. Again, that's coffee and stocks. And then we have the new moon in Taurus, the bull, which is your anytime you have a new moon, full moon, we round up the usual suspects: financials, grains, precious metal, cotton, and cattle and cotton. And then our next big cluster started a day or two ago, and we'll be looking at that too. Jupiter made a 135 to the north node, and then we have some other points coming up here as of last night. We'll be looking at those. Here's all the points marked on your S&P chart. There's the first point there. Missed the top on the S&P by a day or so, but the NASDAQ nailed it on the 29th there. That would get the NASDAQ kind of gapped down. I think the next day it came back up, never made a higher high. Then the S&P came down, and our next date was into the night of the 1st, and there we made a nice low there. We went back up into the new moon, had a big cluster over the May 3rd weekend into the 6th. We missed the high was really on Friday the 3rd, but we didn't miss it by much, and the next day we were making a top there, and then we were down pretty much all the way till the 14th, which was my next big date. We do have the market math here. This is a Gann thing where we square the number of days from a major turn. For example, May 6th was 65 squared days. That's 4,225 days from the October 11th, 2007 major high. That was the top in 07 before we went into the big meltdown. And we had a big cluster around the 14th. And there you go. There's your big cluster there on the 14th. We were 1 day late from that low there on the 13th. We kind of hovered there just above the lows and had a retest on the 15th, which I also had that date. And then we took off into yesterday. Okay, I also have Fibonacci time cycles too. Use the Fibonacci for time. Time is the most important factor in the markets, not price, time. Gann tells us time is more important than price. A price is only relative to the time. At the key times, if you look at the markets at the key times, that will give you the key prices. Now, the S&P here, we have a little problem with this because we like to see these markets get to an extreme at our key times. We did have a change in trend, which we'll be getting to here in a minute, last night. And sure enough, when I last looked a little while ago, S&P was down about 22 handles. And so that puts us back into the middle of this range. I would have preferred to be, at least by today's close or Monday's opening, where I like to see it either at the high, toward the highs, or toward the lows, one extreme or the other. Right now, I think we're kind of in the middle. Here's your coffee. Did that work for Saturn turning retrograde the night of the 29th? Well, that was the top there. And then we went down, down, down till the new moon. And so there we go. And we also had a big line up there with Jupiter and Saturn. Saturn is coffee. So that was 1 day early to the low of the month. So we had the high of the month, 1 day off for the low of the month. That's not too bad. We had a miss here for the cattle earlier in the month. Oh, that was the May 1 night after the close. That didn't work, but it sort of worked a little bit for the new moon there with the new moon in Taurus. And that was a little spike high there on Monday the 6th. Here's your cotton. It was in a trading range, and guess what? It broke the range right on Monday the 6th, broke down, and that was, then from then on, it was down, down, down for about almost 2 weeks. Here's your crude oil traded into a nice wedgie. Their triangle wedge, whatever you want to call it. And it came to the apex there right on the new moon and broke down to the downside, but then there wasn't a lot of money to be made because it didn't just kind of chop sideways. Here's your T-bonds.
Norm, we got to pay a few bills here, my friend, so stay with us, okay?
Will do.
Okay.
If you're in the CD market and looking for a secure investment, the Tiger First Mortgage Program may work for you. The security for these first mortgages are building lots in the Tax Opportunity Zone in St. Petersburg, Florida. The Tax Act of 2018 set up tax-free zones across the country where you can build and hold for 10 years and pay no tax on the profits, which makes these lots valuable. The investment is anywhere from $30,000 to $75,000. The interest paid is 7% yearly, paid on a monthly basis. According to Bankrate.com, the best rate for a 4-year CD in the country as of February 20th is 3.1%. A $50,000 investment at a normal 4-year CD rate of 3.1% would give you income of $1,550 per year or $6,200 over the 4-year period. That same $50,000 investment in the Tiger First Mortgage Program would give you $3,500 per year or $14,000 over the 4 years. Which would you prefer, $6,200 or $14,000 of interest on your investment? If you would like more information about the Tiger First Mortgage Program, you can call me at 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. Will the S&P 500 continue to climb? For bold trades on U.S. large-cap stocks in either direction, trade SPXL, SPUU, or SPXS. Directions Daily S&P 500 Bull and Bear Leveraged ETFs. Direction Leveraged ETFs. An investor should carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses before investing. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a fund's prospectus and summary prospectus, call 866-476-7523 or visit directioninvestments.com. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
The Bull Bear Binary Option Hour. Next on TFNN.
Okay, we're back, folks, and we're talking with Norm Winski from Astro Trends in Florida. Go ahead, Norm. Continue, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So we were about ready to look at T-bonds here. You can see the T-bonds made a nice low there on Friday the 3rd, just ahead of the new moon. Kind of gapped up a little bit. Did not give you a very good entry, but you could have made, if they broke that little downtrend line there. And so you would have probably gone long there and still made some money, went up a few handles from that over the next into last night. And now we're looking for where we're at now as of today's close. Are we going to be on the bottom? It's kind of a narrow channel there. Are we going to be at the bottom of the channel by the end of the day, at the top of the channel, with the S&P down about 22 handles as a little while ago? Bonds will probably, imagine, would probably go up, but we'll have to wait and see. The dollar is, the dollar made a spike high there on the Friday the 3rd, and not real great entry there. You would have had to give up a bit to get in there, and then it did drift lower, so you had a chance to make a little bit of money there, nothing to write home about. And now, you can see the green box there, that indicates where we're at now. You can see the dollar's rallied to the back, to the top of that trading channel. Here's your British pound, probably the best looking chart I have in terms of dancing to the moon. You had a nice double top there between Friday the 3rd and Monday the 6th. And it was kind of a obvious short there. It rallied right into that window. And then it was down, down, down ever since. And now we're down at the bottom of the channel here. And so looks like the pound could be making a low here over the weekend. That would be, that's what we'll be looking for. Here's your euro. It's not as nice as the British pound. I made a little spike low there on Friday the 3rd, up a little bit, and then kind of sideways. And you could, if you were patient, you could have made a little bit of money, but again, nothing to write home about. Gold kind of did not behave, made it slow on like about May 2, and so we're off a little bit on that. But gold's cousin, silver, it was much nicer, and it rallied right into the new moon there. Your old friend Mary, what was her name? The silver
Mary Rivers.
Mary Rivers, there you go.
Yeah.
She would have been happy with that. Rallied right into the new moon there, and you could have shorted it and made some money. Here's your corn. The greens are kind of whippy. There you go. You made a little spike low there right on Monday the 6th. Had a little bit of a rally there. Possibly could have made some money. Had to have good money management. So if you took these lows out, you're out and took a small profit. Right? We're coming up an hour. We had a big rally here, as you know, Larry, into the up till last night. And so if we hang out up here toward the highs into the weekend, I think there's a good chance we're going to make some kind of short-term top. Here's your beans, same kind of picture, and a little short-term bottom there on Monday. You had a little little slight bounce, and then down, and now we're back up into the full moon here this weekend, hopefully by the end of the day, and we pretty much kind of same picture. So let's look ahead into our crystal ball, Larry. Last night we had a change in trend for the U.S., and sure enough, the S&P, which by the way, Larry, I'm sure you noticed, S&P got to within a few handles of its 618 retracement yesterday when it got to, I think it was 28.92 on the cash, and I think 28.96 was a 618 retracement of the whole down move. So that was pretty good. And then we had this change in trend overnight. And so now we're down, when I last looked a little while ago, down about 22 handles. We like to see these markets get to some extreme. I'll go back to the S&P chart now. And scrolling back to S&P land, there we go. Like to see this thing get to some extreme. Right now, unfortunately, we pulled back to kind of the middle of the range here. So that's not going to give you the best trade. The best trade is when it's Newton's law. For every action, there's an opposite equal reaction. So we like to see these markets get to some extreme at our magic time, because then we're looking for a reversal, and then you can get a big move in the opposite direction. I will give you the caveat, though, occasionally they continue, and when they continue, you got to have a stop, because when it does do that, then it's probably going to be huge. All right, we got the full moon coming up here in the sign of Scorpio. Round up your usual suspects for your new moon full moon, and that'll be your financials, grains, and precious metals, cocoa, hogs, and T-bonds. There are only a few markets that charts we haven't looked at yet. Then over the weekend, this is the highest energy window I have for the entire month. It's huge. And we're going to have Jupiter lining up with Uranus in the sign of Taurus, cattle, copper, cotton, and stocks. And we also have one of my other top things, Mercury at 0 north latitude. When the planets get to 0 latitude, that's a big deal, often a big change in trend. And the grains, their top two things for the grains on short-term cycles are the moon and Mercury. And so when we get those things lined up, we got a moon, we got a Mercury, and so we got a big window here for a change in trend for the grains, corn, oats, soybeans, stocks, and wheat. And then we also have the moon's north node in Cancer, opposite Saturn in Capricorn, so there's your silver and your coffee. So the only charts that we haven't looked at yet, this is your shopping list. Write these down. Doesn't mean you're going to do anything. Look for any of these markets so they get to some extreme into the weekend. Might be a good candidate for a nice reversal. Cocoa has had a nice rally into last night, and if it hangs up here into the weekend, then you'll be looking for a change in trend over the weekend. And also we have the hogs doing that somewhat similar, but on a smaller scale. A little bit of a rally here into last night. If they hang up here toward the top of their channel, I'd be looking for some kind of short-term top for the hogs. And there's your copper. It's been kind of coming down. I'd like to see the copper pull back just a little bit into the weekend, and then you might be looking at a low for the copper. All right, and we got I think we're doing okay on the time there, Larry. Here's kind of a funny story. Back on the over the weekend of May 3rd, we had the Kentucky. Speaking of racing, we had the Kentucky Derby. I sent out a notice. I think I sent it to you. You got it too. That because the new moon was in Taurus, the bull. The Taurus is a security-oriented sign, and when I looked at the names of the horses, I saw a horse called Maximum Security. I said, "Oh, that horse looks." I told everybody just for fun, Maximum Security looks good, but I didn't do the chart for the jockey because apparently he's had a little trouble driving the horse, so he bumped into some other horses and got disqualified. But the horse won the race, and the jockey lost.
You have a hard time cashing your tickets on things like that, Norm. So just keep that in mind, okay?
Okay, I'm not going to retire on that one.
Well, I know, but the people that bet on that horse complained to me, and I paid them out of my own pocket, so not to worry about it.
You're a good guy there, Larry.
Yeah, devil may care type good guy. You got it, brother. Go ahead, keep on.
Anyway, so I got free classes. This stuff looks complicated. I promise you it isn't. When I explain it, you'll say, "Wow, this is grade school stuff." There's no complicated math here, no complicated anything. If it were, I couldn't do it. That's why I got into the astrology, because I realized I'm not that smart. I need some help. And so that's how I got into all this stuff. And so,
Scott, we're playing. We got to pay a few. We got to pay a few bills here. Come back with us in a few minutes, okay?
You bet. You bet.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools, as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, Norm, I'm going to change the protocol here just a little bit. I know you don't want to do this, but I'm going to give you a couple minutes here for a commercial, how the folks can reach you. And why don't you take off right now and go slow with the addresses and stuff, okay?
Yes, sir. Got free classes. Just tell me Larry sent you. I got different classes. I got a mini class to teach you trade trading. You don't have to know any astrology. I will, if you can tell time and you can trade futures, you can do this, and it's very successful. I'll tell you all about it when you call me. I'm telling you, you can take a small amount of money. I've had people take a small amount of money and turn it into a serious pile of money, and just get a hold of me. And I got a class for the swing trading. If you want, I'll do an extensive class, teach you the Astro, GAN, Advanced Fibonacci, fractals, the whole enchilada there, and it's all free. Just contact me, and there's my contact info. You can get a hold of me in beautiful Naples, Florida, 239-594-3939. There's my email. It's kind of complicated. Anwinsky at Embark with a Q in the middle, MAIL.com. There's my Skype, Anwinsky _1. and looking forward to helping some of your folks. Contact me right away so we can get you on the list. I start the classes again in early June, and so we need to talk and see what class you want to do and get you in line. I do only got a limited number of spots for these, so looking forward to hearing from you right away, and so we can start moving ahead. Looking forward to helping the folks there, Larry.
That sounds good, Norma. Listen, I want to thank you for joining us today, and have a wonderful Memorial Day holiday on the 27th. That'll be Monday. And maybe you can come on maybe the 28th and tell us what's going to happen next.
Right now, we'll be having a full moon there at the end of that week, I believe.
Yeah, no, I believe new moon. Yeah, see, because the full moon's this week, and then you wait another 14 days, and then you get the new moon. It's called astrology.
Let me write that down, Larry.
Norm, have a good weekend anyway, my friend, and thanks for sharing the information.
All right, thanks very much for having me on. Take care. Have a great one. Bye.